Now, we've been following their charitable success here on This Morning for almost a decade now.
After setting up the Murray Parish Trust in 2014, acting power couple Jim Murray and Sarah Parish have raised almost £5 million to support seriously ill kids across the country.
And in recognition of their incredible work, last week the pair were both awarded MBEs and they join us on the sofa. So obviously, a congratulations is in order. Congratulations.
Thank
you.
What have you done with the bag? Why are you not wearing them everywhere you go? I think you should have them on. I'd be literally wearing it around.
They're actually quite big, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're
They're
big.
quite chunky. You wouldn't, you wouldn't wear it. Mine's in the office. I don't know where yours is. Where's yours?
It's downstairs, Lou.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You both look great. Jim, look at you in the kilt.
You're
You look
getting
wonderful.
married again.
I
It's
know,
beautiful.
it is a lovely picture, isn't it?
We took the opportunity to renew our vows. Right?
And, you know, you should have. You look beautiful.
So lovely.
Thank you.
And what was it like meeting His Majesty the King?
Oh,
It was great.
It was great. He was so lovely. He was really, really interested in what we were doing, and we had a really good chat with him, didn't we?
We got double the
got
time with
double
him.
time,
Because
yeah.
we
Double
both
time, yeah.
went
There's
up
two of you.
together.
Two of
Because
you,
the
yeah.
two of us.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's
And
amazing.
He actually thanks you, doesn't he?
He does,
Yeah.
yeah.
Comes and
And he
thanks you.
knows, you know, he's done his background work. He knows about the charity. He knows everything about you. It was a really lovely. It was a real privilege,
Yeah, it
wasn't
was.
it, and an honour.
was.
Yeah.
So talk us through where we are with the charity now.
Go on.
Well, so we were the Murray Parish Trust, which was, as we've just said, we raised around £5 million for paediatric facilities across the north. That's what
South.
South even the south. Sorry, I'm from the north. And that title, if you like, was associated very much with that effort. And we have noticed along our journey there is a huge need for the mental well-being of seriously ill children and their families. Huge, and there is no charity that's solely dedicated to that in the country. So we thought we would become that charity and step into that role. And because of that, we needed a new name, a bold new mission, and we've become the Imagine This charity,
Right.
where we imagine people, we invite people to imagine, what it's like to be going through that if you're unlucky enough to have a seriously ill child, but B, more importantly, imagine a world where there's hope and the support for every single seriously ill child and their family in this country. So that's the plan. By 2035, we want to support them all.
We'd like to reach every seriously ill child by 2035.
So that's your mission.
That's our
what
mission.
You're gonna
That's what we
achieve.
want
have
to
accepted
do, yeah.
that mission.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. So beautiful. And obviously it's all in memory of your daughter, Ella Jane, who passed away in 2009, aged just 9 months.
Yeah.
So when you talk about mental health of children, what happens? Do they normally get cured of cancer, but nobody looks at the deeper side of things? And
Yeah, exactly that, Alison. You know, obviously, with the NHS, their priority is to medically look after the child and make them better,
Yeah.
whatever their medical... The mental health of the child goes by the wayside because there's no time, you know, there's no time, they don't have the money. And a happy child and a creative child is going to get better much more quicker than a child stuck in bed not doing anything all day. So what we hope to do is bring in drama, art, music therapy, yoga, meditation, things that
Play.
children can get behind and use their imagination, use their creativity. And that just sort of gives them a little lift, and their family as well. You know, more often than not, either the mum or dad's going to have to give up work to look after the kid, the sibling becomes the carer, the whole it's like putting a time bomb in a family and setting it off.
That was such a good point you made as well. I didn't think about that. Like, you don't think about the aftercare, because you know, it's one thing to look after these kids mentally when they're there.
Yeah.
But then a lot of them could have PTSD further down the road.
Many of them do. You know, they go on, they have serious problems in life with their mental health if it's not nipped in the bud at the beginning. So we want to get in there right at the beginning, make sure they're looked after, their brain is cared for as well as the illness that they have, and just set them on the right course, really.
I love the fact that you're using what you know. Acting, dancing, music, drama. I mean, I've seen the change, and you see children go in to do acting. They're like a little shell.
Yeah.
They just literally open up. It's so soothing and so great for mental health.
And we've got these amazing people working for us who can adapt all these classes to children who can't even get out of bed. You know, they can adapt anything they do to suit any child. So we really don't want to leave any stone unturned. We want every child to get this benefit.
Speaking of adapting, it is incredible what you've done, because you've set up this charity, a very successful charity. And then, like anything, charities evolve, right? And the need evolves. And so to be able to carry on doing your jobs and to pivot, how hard is that?
It's hard, but we're surrounded by
We've got a great team.
supporters.
Yeah.
We have a lot of volunteers, and we sort of pride ourselves a little bit on being a charity where very little of people's donations goes on the operating costs. It all goes to the cause, a huge percentage.
We're still a kitchen table charity,
Yeah.
really, where we've got a few employees, but we try and keep the, spend to a minimum.
But to pivot on the mission as well, which is quite...
It is.
It's
But
hard
we
to underestimate
found,
how hard that is.
Yeah, the mental health of children, especially over the last 10 years, has spiralled out of control.
Yeah.
And that's just well children. Seriously ill children, it's even worse. So, we thought this is a real gap in the system that we've got to fill it.
I'm not sure whether it's spiral, it's just suddenly there's a spotlight on it.
Yeah.
And especially since COVID, as you were saying earlier, since lockdown, the alarm bells are going off about how much need and support, especially seriously ill children, need. Imagine that news landing on your doorstep.
But it's not just the children as well, it's their families, siblings, parents as well. You're going to help them as well, aren't you?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
How's you got, what, a 15-year-old now?
Yeah,
Nell,
Nelly,
Nell,
she's
how is
good.
she?
She's
She's
great.
The
great.
kitchen table is more like this. I'll be there in a minute. Those two
What time did she get up?
I can guarantee she won't be watching this.
She won't be watching this. We told her we were on. She was like, yeah, right, great. What channel?
But we hope that she'll do a bit of work for charity. I mean, we sort of said to her, look, you get the word out there at the school, because we're always trying to get people involved, because we can't do it without the public's help.
We rely solely on public support.
So we've said to her, make it your mission, get round that school, make sure all the parents get on board.
You know what? It's going in. She's watching you. She's watching everything. You're juggling life, you're juggling work. I know you're in a Netflix series together, but you're not working together.
No.
We're in the same show, but we don't have
We don't have any scenes together.
At all?
No.
They missed the
get a
PR
break
trick
from
there,
each
didn't
other.
they?
I know, it's quite nice. We
What's
do
that
get a little
about?
break
Can you
from
tell
each
us
other.
about that?
Geek Girl.
Geek
It's
Girl.
season 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3. So it was on, wasn't it, last year, Geek Girl?
Yeah, it was.
It's a series of
big hit.
books that have been made into a drama series. It's great.
About a neurodivergent teenager who becomes a model.
A model, yeah.
Wow.
I'm the headmaster. Sarah is the head of the model agency.
Oh, wow. Both heads.
Both heads.
Wonderful.
And can you tell us about... Oh, go on.
Oh, yeah,
What are you
I
gonna
know
do?
exactly what he's going to say.
Star-studded concert.
Yeah, who's going there?
Concert.
Are we going?
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be really good. So we're doing a big Christmas concert. It's our first sort of big event out of Hampshire.
We're both free.
Yeah, you'll be coming, don't worry. We've got... Who have we got? We've got David Tennant, Olivia Colman,
Oh my
David
gosh.
Melder Staunton,
Oh, I'm not sure
Hugh
we are free.
Bonneville, Amanda Holden.
That's quite heavyweight.
All coming to read and
A-listers.
perform.
Yeah, they're all going to
If you could bring out
perform.
one of your tricks.
Yeah,
could be
come on.
runners.
Yeah.
You could be runners. We've got Sylvia Young's dance school coming to do some... Oh, it's going to be
lovely.
brilliant. It's going to
Yeah.
be so good. So tickets will go on sale in October. And we've got a golf
We have
day.
a golf day at Goodwood as well.
Yeah,
People
so if
want to
you-
put a team together.
Yeah.
Goodwood.
Are you
Yeah.
not doing
Yeah.
a fishing day? Because you love your
We
fishing.
should do a fishing
I
day.
will do a fishing day
do
at
a
some
fishing day.
point.
Do you
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, you
Well,
can come and do the
Megan.
fishing day.
Pretty much how.
And you know the king likes fishing as well.
Yeah.
You're in with the king now.
He did bring that up,
He
actually, in
brought
our
it up,
chat.
Yeah. I may have worn a tie.
With fish on
That
it.
had fish
You
on
fish
it.
on it.
Yeah.
And he
Loved it.
Yes, he recognised the tie. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Does he fish then?
He does, yeah, he does. He's a big salmon fisherman and a big advocate for salmon conservation. So, yeah, we had a brief chat.
Well, I bet...
They were like that, move
I
on.
bet you were
Jim.
like, oh,
I
here
was
we
like
go.
that. Come on. Hurry up.
Want to go for dinner. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Best
Thank
of
you
luck
very
with it.
much.
Lovely
Imagine
chatting to
this is the charity. Everyone look it up.
Yeah, get behind us.
Yeah,
It's
get
going to be
behind
great.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
Next, today, thousands of adults have turned to weight loss injections in their battle with obesity.
Yeah, and while a relatively new drug is available to kids, would you feel comfortable giving it to yours?
Well, that's exactly what Ashley Hamilton did with her then 11-year-old daughter, Sophia. They join us now from their home in Idaho in the United States. Good morning to both
Morning,
of
you
you.
two.
Morning.
Oh, morning, Ashley. Now, let's talk to you first, because obviously you struggled with your weight growing up. Tell us a little bit about your battle with weight.
I was 12 and my dad took a photo of me at a swim meet, and I didn't know that anything was different about me until I saw that picture. And the weight just I just looked different than the other girls on the swim team. And then it just kept piling on and piling on. And there was always an excuse from doctors as to why I was gaining weight, whether it was having like a bout of depression when I was younger from losing my aunt. It was always an excuse, but nobody ever took blood work and nobody ever figured it out until I took it into my own hands at 36 and a half.
And so then you went on the weight loss injections. Did life improve like pretty much straight away?
Yeah, drastically. I used to wake up in immense amounts of pain when I got out of bed from getting in a rollover accident when I was 18, and my whole body would hurt, my hands would hurt. They would be like this in the mornings. It took me forever to get out of bed. And within literally a week of me taking my first injection, I got out of bed. And I remember it happening because I just got out and all of a sudden I just realized like I wasn't in pain.
Sure.
Yeah, and they call it the food noise as well. Did that disappear from you as well?
The first day. I remember the very first day that I took it. I was sitting at my desk. I work from home, and so I was sitting at my desk, and it was 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten anything all day, because I didn't think I was going to have to remind myself, because that had never been a problem.
Yeah. And Sophia, good morning, my sweetheart. Now, listen, you was getting upset as well, a little bit similar to your mom. You had issues with regards to weight. Tell me a little bit about some of those feelings that you were going through.
I had started to gain weight in about like second grade, and kids were bullying me at school, and then it started to send me into a depression in second grade. And then I had to and then later on I gained a ton of more weight, and then I lost a tiny bit on my own.
Yeah.
And then I ended up gaining a lot more weight before school again. And then I saw my mom and all of this, and I was like, I want to do that. And so I had a
How did it make you
conversation with
feel?
her.
How did that make you feel?
Um, which part?
Like the bullying and stuff?
The bullying was definitely not ideal at all.
Yeah.
It was like just very, very hard to deal with, because I was like, I used to think I was pretty, and now I can't even look at myself in the mirror without like
Yeah.
hating myself.
Actually, it's important to stress here, because people probably see a headline, but actually, you know, you have always instilled exercise, you've always instilled a good diet, and it was just very, very difficult to keep the weight off. So how hard was it for you to make that decision for Sophia to take the weight loss jabs?
It wasn't hard at all. When she came to me and asked if this would work for her, I told her yes, but we have to get your blood work done or your labs done to make sure that there is like an underlying problem, because if there was nothing showing right, then that is something that we would have said, okay, this is diet and exercise type of thing. But it wasn't hard at all for me to decide that. I had done enough research that in general on these medications that I knew that if she needed it, that this was what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So, Sophia, you actually started taking the jabs, and what did you notice straight away about how you was going about eating and things like that?
I noticed that like my mom had to like remind me constantly. She was like, you haven't eaten yet. You should probably eat." And then um and then I started to lose weight, and then I started to like realize that like I actually had a lot of inflammation in my face and like in my arms and in my hands and all of that, because I used to wear like certain sizes and rings that were like pretty high for my age. And now I can like wear normal sizes for my age and rings, and I never got to experience that before.
Okay.
Let's bring in Dr. Zoe. Thank you, you two. We'll back to you in just a sec. Rules are very different in the UK to the US, but the one thing that I picked up there is you have to remember to eat the things that are good for you, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you imagine your appetite is vastly reduced, it can be very tempting to just eat the things that you might like, you know, pizzas or fast food.
Or just not eat at all.
Or just not eat at all. And especially, obviously, for children, children are still growing, they're still developing, especially at this age as well, going through puberty. So hormones are very important. So it's incredibly important that children who are taking these weight loss injections are supported by a dietitian, nutritionist, because they've got to be getting in the right amount of protein, all the essential vitamins and nutrients, and likely might need supplements as well. So really important. I mean, here in the UK, there is one type of weight loss injection which is licensed for children aged 12 to 18, both for type 2 diabetes and for obesity. It's very rare it's used. You know, it can be prescribed by a paediatric endocrinologist or by what we call a tier 3 weight management service. But it is rare, but there are lots of interesting studies and trials going on at the moment where they're looking at Wegovy, which is what Sophia took, and they're even being trialled in children that are younger as well, children aged 6 to 12, and then separately children aged 12 up to 18 years old. And I know that there's a lot of scepticism about it, and there's a lot of stigma with anything that's related to weight, which we need to get rid of. But it is incredibly important that we are monitoring these children and looking at what potentially the longer-term implications are. For children, there's the same list of side effects as there can be for adults, but we also need to consider that their bodies are still growing and developing, and could there be any further? But I think the thing to consider, you know, Sophia's a perfect example of this. Sophia already had insulin resistance and her blood work was showing that she had pre-diabetes. What you always have to consider is the risks and potential risks of a medication, but weigh that against the risks and potential risks of doing nothing.
Right. Yeah.
When you've tried all the sensible things, the exercise, the changes to eating, the psychological approach, for some people, like Sophia and her mum, it's just a genetic thing. Your genetics predispose you to having problems with your weight. And then we live in the environment that we live in. There's this phrase that genetics load the gun and environment pulls the trigger. And if you have a certain set of genes, even if you try your hardest with all the lifestyle, it can be practically impossible to maintain a healthy weight. So, you know, it's tricky, it's complicated, there are extra considerations with children, but in Sophia's case, it seems it's been really helpful for her.
Yeah, well, you both look incredible. You absolutely look incredible. Just out of interest, did you have any side effects at all?
I have had minimal side effects. It just kind of depends on like the dose and stuff like that. But for the most part, it hasn't been bad at all.
What about backlash from anybody else? Has anyone had anything to say to you or tried to put you down for doing what you did?
Oh, it's kind of crazy because a lot of people deal with a lot more backlash on social media from people. But for me, it's actually been more in my real life, dealing with people that I can tell are judging me. But it doesn't bother me. It's a way for me to like educate more people on what the reason is that I started.
Sophia, just out of interest, are you still doing the injections now?
No.
So you're not doing, but you're not. You look great. Have you maintained your weight as well?
I was for a while after I got off of it, but then I started to gain a little bit of weight, which is normal if you still have a metabolic issue in your body.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, both of you, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Just last words for you. What if people are looking at this and they've got kids that are obese? What would be your advice?
Well, I think this isn't something that's going to be rolled out in the UK anytime soon, with good reason. It's still experimental. Actually, 22% of children aged 10 to 11 are leaving primary school with obesity. Wow. It's a big problem. We need to get rid of blame, you know, we need to say it's not about willpower. Nah. There's bigger issues going on here. So I think it's great that these are being trialled, but for the time being, what we need is, one, services that are set up to support children with obesity in a holistic way, but also, added to that, we need to treat the cause. We need to look at the environment we're growing up in. If you were born 100 years ago, it was almost impossible to develop obesity because of the environment. That environment's changed now to a point where 1 in 3 adults will have obesity. We need to change the environment. That's ultimately the cause. that for some people they're more predisposed because of their genetics.
So would you say it's more about prevention rather than cure?
Absolutely. It's got to be about both,
Yeah.
but we need to put a huge emphasis on prevention.
Okay.
Hi everyone, just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
But first, everybody's talking about it. It's the viral video that got the world talking. 120 million people, in fact, have seen the clip of what looked like a happy couple caught on kiss cam. They looked really happy, but I think it was the reaction. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
It's just how Chris started with it. Oh, look at these two.
I know.
No. However,
It's like
as
he knew
you're
exactly what to say.
well aware now, it was revealed the love-struck pair were in fact having an affair, and the woman responsible for posting it is Grace Springer, who joins us now from New Jersey, where it's 5 a.m. Thanks for getting up, Grace.
Of course, guys. How are you?
Nice to see you. So, Grace, just talk us through the moment you were filming because you wanted to get caught on camera, right?
Exactly. I was hoping to see myself on the big screen, and I love to capture moments, so that's why my phone was out in the first place.
Oh, so you were filming the camera as if to hopefully it was going to come on you.
Yes, I was being hopeful.
And then, obviously, you caught that moment, you saw it, you saw this lovely couple. And if you think about it, if they just relaxed and just chilled out, that probably... Would you have even uploaded it? I don't think you would have. But it was that reaction. And at what point did you think, you know what, I'm going to post that on social media?
So in the moment when I filmed it, I didn't think much of it. But of course, everyone was kind of chattering. There was over 50,000 people at the concert. So it was a hot topic. But it wasn't until after the concert where I was debriefing the moment with my friends. And I said, let's review the footage. Let's see if it really looks that bad. And I think it does.
Yeah. And like this, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, yeah, but do you feel, not maybe guilt's not the right word, but are you, I don't know, would you have posted it again if you're looking back? I mean, you know, do you feel guilty at all?
I definitely feel for Andy's wife, Megan, his family, and everyone else who's been hurt in the process. But as I said, there was over 50,000 people, and I'm not the only one that caught it on camera. So if it wasn't me who uploaded it, I'm sure someone else would have.
And presumably, you didn't think it was going to be seen by 120 million people?
Absolutely not.
And what's so crazy is it's literally gone mad. There's been so many memes. People are now doing things with, like, sports teams. You've got sports teams taking the mickey out of it. You've got people saying that they're on a diet and being caught out with their food, their McDonald's or Burger King. So it's like it's literally taken on a life of its own. Did you ever imagine this was going to happen?
I never would have imagined that this would have happened. Had I had known, maybe I would have thought twice.
Yeah.
What was the reaction in the actual stadium? Was everyone talking about that moment? What was it like?
It definitely caught everyone's attention, especially because Chris made the announcement, kind of questioning their reaction. But after that, I'm not sure if you're too familiar with Coldplay, but their concerts are magical. So at least for me, I moved on pretty quickly and enjoyed the rest of the night. Yeah.
For sure. It's also important, if anyone's kind of questioning your motives here, Grace isn't part of the TikTok Creator Fund, so it's like you're not making loads of money from this, are you?
No, I've actually made no money from the video itself or the views. It's not monetized.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, lovely chatting to you. Thanks for getting up for us.
And also, it's stemmed such a massive debate about affairs and things like that. Should they have even gone there? Should their identity maybe been protected?
Yeah.
It's stemmed a massive conversation.
Well, thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Grace. Yeah. So, Alison, what do you make of it?
It's just incredible because you see that moment where they turn away or try to hide, and at that point their lives completely implode.
Yeah.
He's lost his very, very highly paid job. He's lost his marriage. They're probably both going to really struggle to work again. In that split second,
incredible, isn't it?
It all changes. Their whole future has changed out of all recognition.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've got to be aware nowhere is private anymore because everybody has got a camera, they can film you. The idea that they could get away with that is just bonkers.
The thing is, I feel like filming someone without their permission, just if you walk along the street, and it's not because I'm in the public eye. If I see anyone get caught, I've got mates of mine that are just quite private people. They don't want to be someone else's content. And I always feel there's a sort of entitlement now that people tend to just film things. That said, this is a different scenario. I can think if you're at a concert and you know that this happens, what on earth are you doing?
But also, there must have been people around them who knew them, who knew what was going on as well. I mean, they'd only been working together a few months, so it clearly, there was clearly an open secret, perhaps, amongst some.
Come on, let's get the big man's take.
Nick,
what are you saying,
thank goodness we've never been caught, eh, Nick?
Well, there was that Lulu concert a few years ago, Alison. Let's hope they never find the kiss cam from that moment. Look, this was Viva La Video, wasn't it? It was quite incredible when you think about it. Alison's absolutely right. You'd have thought they'd be wise to it. It's not as if Kiss Cam has just been invented. Indeed, these guys are Americans and they do it at baseball, basketball, every possible sport you can think at. You've always got Kiss Cam. The one thing I do have to say, though, of course, and Dermot, you're right, we all have had a good chuckle about it. There are, I think, from memory, 4 or 5 innocent children caught up in all of this who sadly are watching mum and dad break up, and I very much doubt that those two marriages, are going to get back on track. So that's horrible. Their respective mums and dads went to do a day's work. They ended up canoodling or whatever you want to call it on Kiss Cam, and sadly now their homes will be destroyed by breakup and divorce. So that is the sage point. But if only Grace was still on the line, Alison, because you and I have got those concerts to look forward to this summer, and she could have told us where she's going to be, and then we'd know how to behave.
I know. I'm literally going to be standing a foot away from you.
We see it. You two hiding in plain sight.
We're in disguise, with big hats on and moustaches.
The spokesperson for Astrometer, where I think they both.
Andy worked there, didn't
Our
he?
leaders were expected to set standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met. Andy Byron has tendered his resignation, and the board of directors has accepted. We're continuing to do what we do best, helping our customers in their toughest data and AI problems. I mean, the only thing I'd say is there's so much going on in the world that's just unspeakably bad at the moment. It feels like I completely agree with you, Nick, about the families. But it does feel, I mean, this kind of worldwide pile-on for two people who are, having an affair, which isn't great, but it does feel like, let's put it into a bit of context.
Oh, completely. I mean, it is very tragic for the families, but it was just that the reaction, I think, is what's really... If they just sort of styled it out and not done anything, then so many people would never have known, and maybe...
They wouldn't have uploaded it.
We wouldn't be talking about it now.
Yeah, but it's a natural reaction, isn't it?
Yes.
We shouldn't be here together. We have to hide. Oh, my gosh, everybody's seen us hide.
And she's the head of HR as well, isn't she?
Has she left a job as well?
It's not... I don't think that's been said yet, but, I mean, presumably she would have to refer herself...
Great thing for her is she's the head of HR.
Yeah, she'd have to refer herself to HR.
She's looking after herself.
More from you two.
I have to say, well, just briefly, I'm a little concerned. My fiancée said exactly what Alison said. They should have just carried on hugging and started. She's not going to Glastonbury on her own again. I'm telling you that for nothing. That ain't happening.
Oh, my gosh. Well, listen, guys, we're coming back to you
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
Two people who were aboard the Carnival Triumph, unfortunately now known as the Poop Cruise, were cruise director Jen Baxter and passenger Devon Marble. Good morning to you both. Very nice to see you. Morning. Jen, let's start with you first of all. How many people are on that cruise, by the way?
So we had about 3,500 guests on board and about 1,200 crew.
Right, and you've been cruising for years and years and years. You've done this a million times. You've been on the ocean forever. What happened that day when the fire first broke out?
Well, we were having a lovely cruise. It was the last day of the cruise. I'm in bed, 5:30 in the morning, sleeping away, and here's the announcement, Alpha Team, which is a code for crew. There's a fire on board. But, you know, it happens. You know, sometimes there could be a fire in a bin or smoke in the... kitchens or something, you know, so you kind of go, whatever. So I'm thinking, I'll just go up to the bridge, which was my job to go, and, you know, it'll be something small, and then I'll make an announcement, we'll go back to bed, all the good. So when I went up to the bridge, as soon as I opened the door, I knew it was not just like a little situation. It was like there's people kind of around and like bells going on and like, you know, radios going off, and I was like,
So then what happened? You lost power, essentially, to the entire ship.
Not straight away.
Okay.
We still had some power, so I was thinking, oh, they'll just...
It will be okay.
It'll be fine, right? All right, they'll put the fire out, we're good to go. And then, boom, the power went.
So having no power essentially means there's no aircon, how does it affect the boat?
Well, so the ship stops, so you're just floating. No air conditioning, like no... you can't cook any food, so like no kettles, no cup of tea.
The motor stops. You're just drifting. I'm guessing.
Toilets, everything, just drifting off, down.
So Jen, you're cruise director at this stage, so you're now working with the senior management of the ship to try and work out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Devin, you were a passenger. Tell us a little bit about. Thank you for joining us. You were there over there in Ohio this morning. Tell us a little bit about the group that you were with and why you ended up on that cruise.
Oh, I was with my entire wife's extended family, and I was meeting them all for the first time, trying to make a good impression on my soon-to-be father-in-law.
Right, OK, so it was quite a pressurised environment, a lovely, fun environment, though, because I think the cruise had started, as Jen was saying, and you see the pictures, it looked like you were all having the most wonderful time, like you would on most cruises.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was the time of our life. We were playing giant chess. We were floating in hot tubs and just having a blast. And we were so excited to go to Cozumel. We ate until our bellies were full, delicious food. It was exactly what you expect from a cruise.
So what happened when what happened when it suddenly went wrong, Devin? How did you all start dealing with the emergence of the fact that the ship was drifting and there was suddenly no power on board?
Yeah, I think everyone, like the first 30 or 40 minutes, you're like, is the ship going to sink? What's going on? And as soon as you realize we're going to keep floating, you calm down a little bit, and then it's what's really happening here. And you start walking around and seeing smoke coming out of like the red fin thing that's, I guess, the exhaust. And you realize, oh, we're just floating. So we're just stuck. And then I don't think people realize how much the engine keeps the boat upright vertical, because suddenly everything's kind of crooked. And that was a real problem when the bathrooms stopped working. I don't think anyone expected that one either.
No. And that was, so let's come to Jen, because that was actually a real problem when you're all sitting around going, right, we have no plumbing because the majority of the toilets are electric. There's suction, isn't there?
Yeah.
Whose idea was the alternative options? And just describe them for us.
So we were sat round, going, we need to do something. We've got to do something because we don't know how long we're not going to have power for. And it was me that said it in joking, right? Well, we can go have a number one in the shower, easy enough, right? And I'm like, well, for the number two, we can do it in a red bag. And it makes sense. Even now, I look back and go, what else would you do?
Because the red bags were sort of biohazard bags. They were there for particularly toxic bits and pieces, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that your father-in-law there, Devin, with one of the bio bags?
Yes, it is. That is my now father-in-law. His name's Manny. He's wonderful.
So you did it.
He saved his bag, Jen.
So you did end up marrying his daughters. So the story actually does end well.
Yeah, we had a happy ending. We got 2 kids, and me and my father-in-law get along great. We are very close.
Well, you'd have to be, I'm guessing.
Nothing bonds you like the need to use a plastic bag if you've got to go to the toilet.
But, Jen, I don't understand.
Best friends now.
Why didn't the boats come out and kind of pull you back to shore? Why didn't that happen?
Well, they did.
Eventually.
They eventually, because we didn't know what was going on. So they had they put the fire out. So at that point, we're like, okay, we're all safe. We're going to be okay. We're just floating. So it was when they went to assess the damage that they went, oh, now we know. Like it had burnt through all the wires, so there's not going to be no hope.
Right.
So that's when they said, well, we're going to send tugboats out.
Right.
But tugboats are really slow.
Yeah.
So it just takes forever for the boats to get there.
How long were you drifting, Jen, in the end?
In all, it was nearly 5 days.
5 days?
And what about the air conditioning? How about keeping morale up and things like that? What happened there? Well, especially it was Mexico, so it's boiling hot too.
It was hot. The weather was really nice. So no air conditioning. So people were taking their mattresses outside and making tents out on the deck and sleeping on sun lounges. Crew as well were in the crew areas because it was just super hot inside and kind of musty and stagnant. And once we realised that it was going to be a long time till the tugboats came, I'm like, oh, we've got to keep these people entertained.
So
have some fun, right?
What did you do?
So you know, I got all the dancers and the musicians and everybody, and we did like normal stuff. We had trivias going on and dance classes and quizzes, and the comedians were there. They did comedy because we got a little bit of power as we went on. Right, we were kind of getting bits going. So comedians on. We actually did a crew talent show, which was amazing. And one of the guys played guitar, and he had been one of the firefighters.
Wow. And Devin, was this enough distraction for you? They also opened the bar, didn't they, at one stage or another? There was a free bar.
They did open up the bar. I think it was enough of a distraction for a little bit at a time. But as soon as your body tells you that it's time to go to the restroom, you really have to deal with a real problem. So I really appreciate the crew. I think they did a phenomenal job because they were in it with us. We were all in it together.
But what I love in the documentary, you were quite ingenious, though, Devin, because you refused to believe there wasn't a toilet somewhere on the ship that worked, and you found a secret loo somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because the ship would, like, tip and all of the fluid would just go one way, and so then maybe a toilet worked, but I did find one. I did not have to use a red bag.
So you didn't. Wow. Jen, did you end up having to use a red bag?
Yes.
Wow.
You know, you gotta go, Ben.
Yes.
And then when the tugboats attached and started pulling you back, when they finally got there, the ship tipped too.
Well, it was listing quite the whole time. Like, if you've been on a ship, you know that. Yes. Like, with the wind, blah, blah, it happens. But because we couldn't use the ballast to keep it, you know, stable. Steady. So it was listing, which you're not in any danger, but it's just... Oh, it's strange to be listening, and because the wind was blowing the ship as well.
Well, Carnival Cruise have a right of reply. A thorough investigation following the incident revealed a design vulnerability, which was corrected and led Carnival Cruise Line to invest more than $500 million in support of our commitment to robust safety standards. We are proud of the fact that since 2013, over 53 million guests have enjoyed safe and memorable vacations with us.
And you worked with them for another 10 years, had an amazing time?
Yeah, I loved it. It was like the best. Do. Absolutely loved it, yeah.
And Devin, you got a river cruise, maybe not on the high seas, is that right?
Yeah, maybe a river cruise.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
All of that, the number of people waiting for life-saving organ transplants is at an all-time high, leaving Britain in critical need of new organ donors. I had no idea.
No, the NHS estimate that 8,000 people are currently on the UK transplant waiting list. Last year, more than 460 people died whilst waiting for a transplant.
Well, we're very lucky today to have police officer Terry Archbold joining us on the show, who knows exactly how important those donors are, because his actual daughter, Bea, spent more than a year in hospital waiting for an urgent heart transplant when she was only 2 years old.
Terry joins us now alongside Rachel Roughton, who is the Regional Head of Organ Donation. Morning to both of you.
Morning. Thanks for having us.
Terry. Well, tell us about your daughter, Beatrix, but Bea, right? So she was born in 2021 and pretty healthy to start with.
Absolutely, yeah. So Bea was born fit, healthy, no issues whatsoever, little cheeky baby. And then at 15 months old, she suddenly fell ill. Deteriorated very, very quickly with heart failure. And it was...
You just thought she was kind of breathy to start with, those COVID, right?
Yeah, so we'd been to Florida.
Wow.
And we'd come back, and Cheryl, Bea's mum, and older sister Eliza had caught COVID.
Yeah.
And we saw similar symptoms with Bea, breathless, lethargic, and at that point, not overly concerned, but it went on for a couple of days. And then she stopped drinking. So we rang 111. They sent an ambulance round to the house. Ambulance crew came, checked her out. Not, again, massively concerned, but said, take her to the local A&E, get a more thorough check done. So Cheryl did that, and I expected to be home in a couple of hours with antibiotics or whatever, and never expecting to be told that they picked up a heart murmur and that she was in heart failure.
And so that was something that it's not something that runs in your family particularly, or
no,
just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, yeah.
So then suddenly every parent's worst nightmare. What's the next step?
So from there, Bea was taken over to the Freeman Hospital, seen by the consultants to work out what the condition was, what was happening. And she was diagnosed with a condition called dilated cardiomyopathy. So it's an enlargement of one side of her heart. which was then causing the heart to fail and not function. They tried to assist that with medications for about 4 or 5 days, and it didn't work. And she wasn't getting enough of the medications into her. She was taken for emergency surgery to fit a Hickman line. So for yourselves, or viewers, if you're not sure what that is, it's a surgical attachment that goes into a blood vessel, generally in the shoulder area, so they could administer more medication more efficiently. B came out of that surgery, and we received a phone call to say, she's OK, you can come over and see her, she's doing well. And we walked into the intensive care unit, and there's a parent's room, and B's bed was 2 beds up from that parent's room. No sooner had that door shut than we heard alarms. And we heard staff shouting for equipment.
I mean, that's just unimaginable, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Cheryl said to me, "Will you look at?" We knew it was B. We just knew.
It's an instinct.
Yeah.
And you'd have heard almost beeping. You wouldn't know what, but I bet you just something.
Yeah, and I heard them ask for a backboard, and I knew why they were asking for a backboard. And so Cheryl told me to make sure, so I looked out and I could see the team working on B.
Oh, God.
Yeah, horrendous.
I mean, they can tell that, you know, even though this has a happy outcome, those moments, that just takes you right back.
It takes me right back to that moment in time. And shortly afterwards...
So she had cardiac arrest?
She was, yeah, so they saved her with CPR. And shortly afterwards, the medical team came into the room and sitting as close as we are now, and presented us with a choice. They said that if she had another cardiac arrest, she would not make the night.
Oh,
the only hope she had would be to go on the urgent transplant list.
Yeah.
And to get her there, she would need to have a Berlin heart, which is what is on this.
Yeah,
Here.
I've not heard of this, but I did see about this, the Berlin heart. So this is like almost tubes doing the job of a heart.
It's an artificial heart.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's bring Rachel. So, I mean, to start with, what state are we at with transplants at the moment? Like, I mean, we've given some quite stark statistics there.
Yeah, I mean, there's more people currently waiting on the transplant list than ever before. The numbers are around 8,000 at the moment, and that doesn't truly reflect how many people really need a transplant, because there's around 12,000 people that need one, but because of various reasons, they're not well enough to have a transplant. They're suspended at the moment. And unfortunately, the demand doesn't meet the need. So we're not able to supply the amount of organs we need to. And there's a real issue with families saying yes to organ donation. I work with families in the unfortunate situation where their loved one's going to die. So B had an organ donor, and obviously a brave family had to consent for their child's organs to be used, and that's what we really need to focus on, is raising awareness about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sorry to ask a stupid question, but obviously a baby's organs, you need a baby. But at what age do you become an adult? And so a 16-year-old or an 80-year-old can donate to a 16-year-old. I mean, does that work?
It depends on the size, because obviously some children can be quite large and some adults can be very small. So everything is done on a weight and size ratio. Yeah.
So the shortage is just across the board.
It is, and obviously for a child of B's age, you need a child to be able to donate.
And how common is the Berlin heart? I mean, is that is obviously quite a complex piece of surgery and equipment.
It's more common than you'd think. I mean, Terry, you can talk more about the children that you saw in the Freeman.
Yeah, so B spent 14 months living at the Freeman Hospital.
With this Berlin heart, while she waited for the transplant.
While she waited for a transplant. So it's a bridge to transplant. It keeps them supported, pending. So that was doing the work of her heart for her.
Yeah.
While she waited for a donor to be found for her. And during those 14 months, there's 8 beds at the Freeman. They would routinely be filled with similar children, similar ages, some older, some even younger. And there's a unit at Great Ormond Street as well, and that's it for Berlin hearts in the country. And we have seen, there's a little girl in Ormond Street now called Penelope. Similar, it was like watching B's story over again. But there was a period where she couldn't get into hospital for that treatment because there wasn't capacity had been reached. Luckily, a bed became available, and she is now at Ormond Street going through the same journey that P did.
Do you know, the thing that I read in my notes that you said last night that just destroyed me was that you saw her friends on that ward. Some of them just didn't make it.
Yeah, at one point there was, I'll not mention the names, but B's bed was it was her home, it was in the corner of the ward, and within the space of a week, both the children either side passed.
It's heartbreaking, whichever side of it you are on, because you're either a desperate parent hoping for a donation, but as a parent, you know to get one, it's heartbreak for another family, and you know very well, don't you, Terry? Because actually, it's quite a full circle story for you.
It is.
Do you mind talking about what happened?
No, I think it's important.
Yeah.
So our experiences around organ donation, obviously our time with B in hospital taught us a lot. But the biggest learning for us came from when we lost our daughter Isabel. And we faced the organ donation question with her. And my immediate response, when the team came in to ask, my immediate response was no. Every instinct I had going on at that point, every emotion was protective. I didn't want anybody to touch her.
Of course not.
Cheryl, my partner, her response was yes. So you've got two parents, very similar circumstances, same emotions going on, same grief, same loss. And we did consent. And the thing that swung me was, Cheryl made me stop and think that the pain that I was experiencing, the pain that we were going through, would we want other families to feel that? And if we could do anything to prevent that, then it's the right thing to do. Cheryl's yes came from a prior seed of thought. Earlier in life, she had read a magazine article about child organ donation. I think she might be getting a hair done or whatever, in a waiting room somewhere. But she picked up a magazine, and in it was an article that set a memory in the back of her mind that you never expect to use.
No.
You could never imagine being in a situation that would come to the fore of mind. Life put us in a situation where it did. And it was that seed of thought that enabled Cheryl to process that moment and enabled her to make me think of others and to say yes. And that's why the education is absolutely key, because every transplant, every organ donation that takes place hinges on the ability of those that are asked to process that moment and say yes.
And quickly.
Yeah.
We do have a happy ending, don't we? She did get her transplant.
She did.
How was that moment? What was the process like?
That moment was incredible. It was such a whirlwind of time, because you've spent... For us, we spent 14...
It's hurry up and wait, isn't it? Right?
15 months, and the reality is we know what it meant to the other side. So it's like living an endless torture. Every day wondering, is this the day that we lose B? Is it her last day with us? And enjoying every moment. And at the same time, very conscious of what it means for her to come home.
Yeah.
That if she does, her life from that moment... Every breath, everything she goes on to do is because of somebody else.
That's a good way of putting it.
I can just see her out the corner of my eye. Should we bring her in?
Absolutely.
Little B.
Hi,
B. Do you want to come and sit over here with us?
With Daddy?
Yay!
Meow. Hey, B, how are
you?
Good to see you.
Hi, babe.
Oh, look, you can look after this little baby. There you go.
Look. How's it going, B? You good? Are you good? It's nice to see you, B.
I mean, to be able to see this story, and a bit like you're saying about, it's about talking about it. This is what we're doing today. You're being very brave. This might have an impact on someone else's decision when you see, hello, thank you very much. I'll take care of this little baby here. Rachel, what is it about... we understand that it's such a sensitive subject, but is there a bit of an issue with... because the laws changed, didn't they, where you actually have to opt out now of organ donation, but it doesn't seem to be quite as simple as that when it actually comes down to it.
Yeah, so the law did change, but it was kind of one piece of a big complex jigsaw. No one thing is going to increase organ donation. What's really important is at the point of a conversation with a family, when they're in the very unfortunate situation that their loved one is going to die, it's they need certainty about what their loved one wanted. And the best way to do that is sign the NHS organ donor register. But not only do that, it's talk to everybody, those that are closest to you, your friends, your family, whoever is going to be there in that moment, you need to let them know what your decision is. And we know that over 90% of families will always support that decision when they know what it is. But in the situation...
in the eye of the storm, and, you know, Terry articulated it so brilliantly there, you immediately go, no, don't touch, you know? And would that be the same for parents as well? The parents of kids need to work out quickly what they want to do if the worst ever happened to their child.
Absolutely. So, obviously, the law doesn't apply to anyone under the age of 18, and it's the parent's responsibility. But I had a baby last year. As soon as I came home from hospital, I put her on the organ donor register. So, as a parent, you can do that. You can have those conversations together. Before no one ever expects to be in this situation.
But you could be saving a life.
But you could be, and I think as a society we don't talk about death and dying. No. We don't do it, and organ donation is just one of those things that we should consider and make those decisions known, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring, unfortunately.
Yeah. Thanks both of you for coming in.
That was amazing.
Thanks, Terry.
And thank you, little
We've lost her, mate. I don't know where she is now.
She's getting ready to do Morning View next.
She's going to be hanging out with Giles and Tim.
Yeah.
I did say she might be
much needed dose of sanity and logic for the news review.
Dermot, is the fruit real on this morning, or is it fake? Because
I've made the mistake as well.
I was going to say, we're about to find out, I think.
B, do not eat that fruit.
If you would like to register, which we think is so important, to be an organ donor in the UK, and you feel you can, please do. You can sign up online through the NHS Organ Donor Register, and that's at organdonation.nhs.uk.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.